But that, all the
What
above.
about all of the above, but the fact is, there seems to
May or
be a
may
high
not.
rate of occurrence there.
Yeah.
It may or may not resolve the issue, but it's clearly an area where better lighting would help. And Greg, would you ask the ECW director to get that light turned back on? Anything else?
That's it, thank you.
Joe?
No, I had light written down too, Mr. Yule.
Yep.
I had the
I
same
saw
thing
the
down.
email back and forth. Sean?
Just a couple of things. I mentioned at the last meeting that I'd like this board to take a look again at the trash fee exemptions based upon the information received by the assessing manager. According to her review, what was the intent of the board versus what was adopted may be a conflict, and therefore there's trash exemptions that are being extended exceed what the board's original intent was.
Is that a board policy issue that we need to modify? Or is it just,
I don't recall, they had to do with veterans and...
Right.
How
Her review and the
recipients
information I received, her review was, it appeared to her that the intent was elderly in income, or seniors in income, and it seems to be a broad-based trash exemption that is being extended. And the difference would be quite a large sum of money since 2003. That's one issue. And also, I know we're revising our town-owned land sale, but also I don't want to lose sight of the fact that I believe we've asked some committees and commissions to take a look at town-owned properties, which they may have an interest in, and better identify those and limit those. Is there any update concerning that? Or can we receive an update concerning that?
At this time, I don't have an update, but I will provide them to you for an upcoming meeting.
I think I did receive a spreadsheet.
But we gotta
copy of
get
that so we can
conservation
sort
to
it,
sit
right?
down with LUC, to
Right.
sit down with, it'd start with those two, I think.
Right.
And then,
Try to narrow it down. Also, I know we received a memo in our packet from, I think, town council regarding identity theft. And I raised this because a resident had contacted me concerning some information that was inadvertently released by the police department. May have been a privacy issue. It was, the resident did speak to and met with, I believe, Chief Nolan. And in terms of information coming out of the police department, I believe that has been corrected, whatever issue there was in terms of their computer system. But I would like to see what efforts or what policies are in place for the town hall, especially if people are paying bills online, banking information and the like that's being transferred online, to make sure there's firewalls and the necessary
There's-
safeguards in place.
The state law, you know, we're going through this with all our clients now. And of course, this state law was going to go into effect a year ago, January, and then it got shifted 3 months out, and then 3 more months out. And then they moved it to this January coming. Now they've moved it by another 8 weeks. So they
Hurry up
tightened
and
up
get this
on
done.
the going forward. What basically all companies have to do is to have a documented procedure of what they're doing to safeguard this, and be able to, if an incident occurs and they don't have it, they're subject to significant fines. Because, you know, clearly, you know, you can have the best firewall in the world, and there's people out there finding ways in. But the objective of the law is to force everybody to have a procedure in place and document it, and you know,
If something were to happen.
potentially using best practices to deal with it. And I was thinking, from a town's point of view, there's an area probably the town clerk has to deal with, and then the bill paying on the web, but that's through a bank, and it might be worthwhile for the bank to provide the town with the measure they take to protect that
there's
information.
plenty of measures in banks, so we will be assured.
Yeah, I
They were the first
understand.
ones, it all started with Y2K, and
But, you know, it would be nice to, you know, maybe as part of our process, because we're allowing that to happen. It's not like we're storing that information on the website. Actually, when you go make the transaction, you're on the bank's
But
website.
there are
But you are putting in, you know, key information that allows people to transfer money.
state and
back.
federal regulators check the banks regularly for the safeguards that are in place for that sort of stuff.
So it's something to
There's a lot of
consider.
scrutiny there.
We're having a seminar, I think it's on the 18th of September, a law firm that's been specializing in this is actually gonna come in, and we've invited a lot of our clients, actually, we're charging them for it to get the specific legal interpretation, what needs to be done. Of course, we're providing models of what needs to be done, so there's activity, and I keep saying to my partner, yeah, but the state's gonna move this out again. But that, you know, even if they did, it still would be good practice to have some policy and procedure in place.
Just the last issue, I just want to applaud the town administrator and all town employees that were involved in defending the Teamsters Local 25 arbitration claim. The amount of time and effort was put in, it's greatly appreciated.
Can I bring up one more, Bobby?
Yeah, I was just gonna bring it up for you,
Oh.
I bet, but go ahead.
No,
No.
I don't, well, maybe you have, but I don't
This
think so.
was to thank the people on the munis.
Yeah, exactly, I was
Right.
gonna ask, can we do that, you know, on our side?
Joe had suggested we bring them in at a meeting.
You know, bring in
Thank them
the
for
town
effort.
side
That has
and
been quite
acknowledge them,
successful, that-
same as the school did. You read my mind, Bob.
Was that your third item coming third?
That was the third one coming back. The fourth one will be fourth.
No, I
It's
didn't
late.
read,
What do you
I
want?
did not read your mind, Joe.
It's late.
All your emails, is it working again? Is it working again?
Yeah, it's working.
You had specifically asked. We all set?
Yep,
Okay.
I am.
You know, I too, although I never agreed with his politics, you know, express my condolences to Ted Kennedy and his family for, you know, the contribution he has made to the state. It is significant.
It's huge, yeah.
We've got just a couple of weeks to make our final budget decisions for October, so next week will be a pivotal week in terms of, you know, prioritizing and making sure that we're all in agreement on what we want to support, what contingency we'll put in place for, you know, this potential additional cut to state aid. Greg and I have had a discussion on, you know, what that number should be. And, you know, I think we need to basically say, okay, this is what we would do. You know, whether it's tapping some reserves that we might have, or saying this is what we'll take out of the budget like we did last year. As you recall, we took $150,000 from school and town, and it was a good thing that we did it, even though we had additional money that came in as, because of the new growth that wasn't available at the time we passed the budget. This year, we probably we don't have that little piece to help us out, so we'd have to, from a contingency point of view, maybe have a plan that cuts even deeper.
Town administrator's suggestion of holding on to some of the free cash.
Yeah,
Can certainly be an alternative to cutting more positions at this point and trying to sustain what we have.
Right.
And whether or not that's gonna be enough to,
Does everybody understand that, you know, we didn't anticipate having free cash? And
Absolutely.
we ended up having some, and it's a direct result of what I consider to be the efforts of our collector and treasurer, who managed to get additional tax billing out and expedite payments to the point where we don't have the gap.
Yeah, also the assessors, because they were the ones that actually did the commitment.
And then the turnbacks, you know, instead of being evaporated as a result of tax deficiency, actually paid. And I guess the registry helped us out by getting catching up on excise tax bills that, should have been
We're hoping cash flow coffee
sent that way.
into strong motivate my sense, but there's no predicting.
Well, I mean, that would be, yeah, that would be a help, but we're not going into the budget process.
Our original projection, and probably why stand on them.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session for the purposes of,
Litigation
collective bargaining. Collective bargaining, and what was the other
and,
one?
purchase of value or lease
Yeah, okay.
of real property. Excuse me. Mr. Chairman, I move to enter into executive session for the purpose of litigation or collective bargaining strategy and purchase of value or lease of real property. And further, the Board of Selectmen will return to open session thereafter, the sole purpose of adjournment.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Yule, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Mr. O'Leary?
Aye.
Mr. Yule?
Aye.
Mr. Neon?
Aye.
Mr. Delaney?
Aye.
Chair votes aye.